Here's your sixth secret. Relationship vitality starts to wane in an appreciation gap, and vitality continues to drain away as this gap widens. A specific place and time can be pinpointed where the break first occurred in the ongoing flow of appreciation. Specific techniques can restore the flow of appreciation, and this flow liberates creative energy in the partnership.
If you want to create vital, long-lasting love, you need to become a master of verbal and nonverbal appreciation. We teach couples how to appreciate each other spontaneously and frequently. Although it sounds like a simple thing, it's definitely not. In fact, it's often the last thing we teach in our program because it's the hardest to learn. To utter a clear, heartfelt appreciation to another person is radical, partly because it's so rare. To receive that kind of appreciation from another person is equally challenging. Most of us have never seen or heard a rich flow of spoken appreciation in relationship. In fact, many people cannot recall a single instance of clear appreciation being expressed in their families of origin.
The simple solution is to speak a heartfelt 10-second appreciation to the other person for no reason other than to signify a commitment to appreciation and to open the flow of appreciation. In other words, the spoken appreciation is not to get a particular result from the other person. In reality, it produces powerful results very quickly, but it's important that the appreciation not be spoken as a manipulation or an expectation of a reward.
If you look and listen as you go through your day, you'll soon notice that all of us live in one of two ongoing cycles: a cycle of appreciation or a cycle of entitlement and complaint. As an experiment to confirm this for yourself, just stop and listen for a few minutes to the conversations around you in a busy place like a coffee shop or an airport newsstand. We've done this many times, and the conversations never fail to be mainly about the subject of relationships. If you listen to the tone of those conversations, you can hear that they're coming out of appreciation or out of entitlement and complaint.
The cycle of entitlement and complaint goes like this. We want something from our partner, such as more communication or more understanding or more touch or freedom. Not only do we want it, we feel entitled to it. Inevitably, our partner fails to give us what we want, so we complain about it and criticize our partner for his or her faults and failures. Then, the situation improves temporarily or it doesn't. Even if it improves, eventually we start feeling we're not getting what we're entitled to, so we complain and criticize more. That's the cycle of entitlement and complaint.
The cycle of appreciation is very different, and it goes like this. First, we make a commitment to living in a cycle of appreciation. Then, as we go through the day, we look for things to appreciate about our partner, and as a result, we discover new things to appreciate, or we notice old ones anew. So we speak our appreciations clearly, and then this causes us to see more things to appreciate.
What most of us don't know is this. We have a choice about which cycle to live in. What most of us really need to know is how to get out of the cycle of complaint and into the cycle of appreciation.
In our work, we focus on spoken appreciations. There are other types of appreciation, such as touch and giving people presents, and those have their place. But it's the act of giving each other verbal appreciation that really makes a difference in intimate relationships.
Spoken appreciations need to be fresh, clear, and from the heart. By fresh, we mean that they need to be based on your immediate sensory experience. By clear, we mean that the appreciation is easy for the receiver to understand. By the way, the tips we give you here are based on what has really worked with real couples. They're not based on a theory of appreciation we're trying to promote. They're really based on what we've seen and experienced in our seminars. We teach an easy way to make sure your appreciations are simple. Keep them to one out-breath. We find that your appreciation is much more likely to be received if you can say it in one breath. One breath is plenty if your appreciation is clear and from the heart.
Here's an example. He says, "I really appreciate how good that spicy perfume you're wearing today smells on you."
She says, "I appreciate how you can be strong and gentle at the same time."
Now, here's what to appreciate. Once you open the gateway to appreciating, you'll find many new wonderful things to notice and celebrate. Here are some of the best ones we've found in the couples we've worked with.
Essence qualities. Tune into your partner's singular gifts, their unique strengths and creative aspects.
For example, I said to Katie a while back, "I really appreciate how sensitive you are to the needs and feelings of people around you." This is an essence quality of hers. If it were missing, she wouldn't be who she is.
All of us have areas of uniqueness, most of which go uncelebrated throughout our lives. It only takes a few seconds to tune into the singular special qualities of your partner and a few seconds more to say an appreciative word about those qualities. Those few seconds, though, can erase a huge number of relationship problems.
Helpful actions are another great thing to appreciate. Think for a moment about someone you love. What are some of the things he or she does that makes life better for you or for others? Most of us get roundly and frequently criticized for the unhelpful actions we take, but we're not so well celebrated for the times we perform useful or helpful actions. Let's change all that by putting our attention on the positive.
Here's something else that you can appreciate: qualities of mind and body. What do you appreciate about your partner's looks? What's striking about the way his or her mind works? Does he or she dress a certain way that appeals to you? Does he or she think a certain way that you really appreciate? Qualities of mind and body are a rich source of things to appreciate.
Another great thing to appreciate are daily reliabilities and initiatives. Most of us have things we do regularly that people rely on. Most of us initiate certain things without having to be reminded of it.
For example, around our house, Gay handles the daily trek out to the trash bins while I take care of the flowers.
Week in, week out, our house is full of beautiful flowers and never full of trash. Until recently, though, we were so in the rut of that routine that we didn't really think to appreciate the other person for what they did so reliably. But since then, we've been a lot more careful to notice and say things like, "Thank you for making the house look and smell so good by taking care of the flowers."
Accomplishments and opportunities are another great thing to appreciate. Think for a moment of how you and your loved ones show up in the world. What have your accomplishments been, both large and small? Most people are quite skilled at singling out the failures and the missed opportunities of ourselves and others. So we probably don't need much more practice in that area. However, most of us do need practice in singling out the accomplishments of ourselves and others, as well as the opportunities we've provided for each other.
Relationship and spiritual connections are another great thing to appreciate. Tune into your partner's relationships with others. Also, tune into his or her relationship to the cosmos, to the earth, to the spiritual elements of life. Are there things about those relationships that you admire and have learned from? If so, be sure to speak about those things clearly and often to your partner.
Learning opportunities are another great thing to appreciate. Most of us have learned things of great value from our partners, things we otherwise might not ever have learned. Sometimes, though, those learnings were accompanied by pain, so we fail to appreciate the person for bringing us that learning opportunity. Take a moment now and then to think back through the ups and downs of your relationship. What were some of the most powerful learnings you've received from that relationship? Step aside from the pain of those events for a moment and ask yourself, what did I learn that I seemingly was not able to learn until that moment? And then express those learnings in the form of an appreciation to your partner.
You can bring this secret to life with a powerful 10-second technique. If you're currently in a relationship, think of something you appreciate in your partner. If you're not currently in a relationship, think of someone else you appreciate, such as a friend or family member. Then express your appreciation in one out-breath by completing the following sentence. I appreciate you for, and then simply fill in the blank with the thing itself. It's just that simple.
Here are some examples. I appreciate you for remembering to call from work and check in. I appreciate you for the loving way you parent the boys.
I appreciate you for taking time to dress creatively.
I appreciate you for listening to my feelings without trying to fix me.
Remember, lasting love grows in the small actions we all take, and the most important actions take 10 seconds or less.